Lens to engage your audience so they are with you all the time. I don't know why I'm singing, but it just happens. So, are you ready? Because this is going to be an interactive one, and I brought an assistant, Leppy the laptop. We are going to watch some videos of moments where interactive engagement styles are activated, are applied, and you're going to experience what different opportunities are, and most importantly, which active learning style really works for you. Because what you're going to see is that there's a lot of different ways to get people in an active learning state, which basically means that people are with you all the time, taking notes and emotionally connected, interactively playing along all the entire time. So you are the leader on stage, bring them from A to Z, bring them in an active state, a saying yes state, an I feel seen state, I'm walking along with you on the emotional journey state. So when you say who would love to go next with whatever that is that you're offering, or inviting them to join you on the journey, they are ready for it because they've been primed from the beginning, not just the end. So what we're about to do, we're gonna watch 4 examples. They're either from myself, people I worked with, or people I'm learning from, people I look up to. And we're going to see together what happens and what you can learn from this. Again, it's not take notes upon everything and you're going to apply everything in every talk. This is take notes like crazy, play full out. Are you okay to play full out? Are you? Go on now. You're learning about this, so you better do it yourself as well. And you're going to see what the opportunities are. We're just watching a few. There's so many. And the beauty of this, after this video, you will probably start to recognize them in your daily life, in amazing speakers, YouTube videos, social media, stuff that you're doing. And you're going to realize, this is what I can implement as well. Or this is what someone else is doing, it doesn't resonate with me. Find your own style, but at the end of this video, you will resonate with 1 or 2 most, and you're going to implement them. You're going to try them out. And some that you don't resonate with, try them too. Just try how it feels, right? This is the part where experimentation really comes through. This is the art of the whole combination. We talked about this before. So what we're going to do is we're going to listen to a talk of moi. You see? Moi. I was doing a talk here in front of an amazing group from Dean Graziosi, a mastermind. That was part of myself as well. And we're just going to watch and we're going to see how am I making sure that people are in an active learning style and that they're engaged. Not engaged to a person, but engaged.
So start to feel that you're actually start to say it out loud right here, right now. I am a legend. Say it. I am a legend. And you keep saying it. I am a legend. And you start to feel the energy inside of you and you start your volume going up. I am a legend. I am a legend. And you really feel it, and you feel that energy in that stone. I am a legend. I am a legend.
Okay, I'm gonna pause it right here. What happened is that I was telling a story about Stonehenge. Stonehenge is where I went with my family. I chose it as a scene of my life to make a point around storytelling. And then I actually attached a stone, a little stone that I got from the earth, attached it to under their seats. They had to grab it, and then we anchored a feeling of being a legend to this stone. So everybody stood up, they closed their eyes, we did a visualized eye process, closed eye visualization, I should say, and we anchored in the feeling to the stone, and that stone they were able to bring along. Some still have it. It's pretty cool. So this is a way of engaging. It's a visualization. It's a way of anchoring a feeling into a specific object that was even attached to the storyline of the whole talk. So this is a way that can work for you. Does that resonate? Does that ring a bell? Does that do anything for you? If no, perfect. If yes, perfect. It can also grow on you. So let's go to the second one just to show you that there's a lot of different possibilities. Okay? So let's just go to a man that I learned from. This is our very own Joe Dispenza. Let's listen to him for a moment.
If science tells us that the environment signals the gene, are you with me? Yes. And all genes make proteins. And proteins are responsible for the structure and the function of your body. And genes are like Christmas tree lights. They turn on and off all the time, and we've measured this. Would you agree then that if an experience in your environment produces an emotion, and science tells us it's the environment that signals the gene, when you begin to experience the emotion ahead of the environmental experience, you're signaling the gene to begin to make new proteins to prepare the body for that future experience. Are you with me? Yeah. Now you're in alignment biologically with the destiny.
Whoa, what is he doing over here? What is he doing to engage you in his full talk, which takes in this case 1.5 hours, but he's talking for days and people are drawn to his energy. What is he doing? He's asking, are you with me still? Are you with me still? So what happens in your mind? What are you saying in your mind? Yes, yes, yes. What's an active learning state? Was it this? Or was it this, where you say yes to your next level? And every time he asks this question, you're not actively shouting this answer, aren't you? You are thinking about it. And when you have a question, your brain, even though you may be in your own wonderland, you're like, oh, I have to answer. Because what the brain doesn't really like is incompletion. So when you have a question, you want to answer it so it's done. It's out of your mind. It's this thing, just how your brain is wired. We don't like something that's incomplete. So when we open something, we want to close it again. So this is an amazing way to get us engaged again. What he also did, by the way, I don't know if you saw that, but did he explain? Let's watch it one more time. I think it was here. Yeah. Is it a little further? Let's go.
Are you with me? Yes. And all genes make
proteins. Are you with me?
And proteins are responsible for the structure and the function of your body. And genes are like Christmas tree lights.
Genes are like Christmas tree lights. Didn't we just talk about that? How you can compare something that might be overarching, genes, love, money, to something specific like Christmas tree lights, something that we can see, something that we associate, something that we connect an emotional connection with. Christmas tree lights. So now we're able to save this in a part of our brain that helps us recall this specific fact easier. So he's not just engaging you in a way where he's asking questions that you are going to answer. He's also bringing in some specificity to the mix. Oh my God, is this a way where you combine all the things you learned? Yes, it is. Oh my God, who would have known? So let's watch another one. This is actually a person I helped not only get his TEDx talk, but also shine on stage. So this is what he did.
A remarkable man took the stage. The light slightly dimmed. And I look at this big, friendly giant. And he really took me on a journey. Close your eyes, everyone, he said. And imagine that you're standing in front of the most cherished place on earth for you. And in my mind, I stood in front of my house in Oosterhout. And he asked me, imagine that your parents and your grandparents are watching this place. What would they see? What would they observe? And what has changed? And what would your children and your grandchildren say about this place? What will change for them? And I felt the importance of taking responsibility.
All right, there's a lot to learn from this specific part. First of all, what is he doing with his body? he said, the man said, the light dimmed. His voice changed. The light dimmed. And he said, close your eyes, everyone. So what is he doing now? He's time traveling. We're getting a lot of different things in one place, right? His engagement style was visualization. So he brought people to the place where he had an epiphany, and he's going through the same emotional journey with the audience right now, even though he's not asking play along. He's telling everybody. But because he's showing what he's doing, what someone else asked him, and he's telling it like it's happening right now. So he's time traveling to that moment. He sees this big friendly giant and he says, close your eyes, everyone. And go to the place where you grew up. So I went to the place in Oosterhout. And then I thought, and then the man asked again. So he's asking questions that the audience in this case will answer for themselves, because he's asking the question like he's asking the question now. And then he's answering it from his consciousness in that moment that he actually experienced this thing. Oh my God, this may sound a little complicated, but do you see where we're going here? Do you see that there's a lot of different ways to get people engaged, to ask open questions, to time travel, to visualize, to interact with each other? So now there's one last one that you might know. It's a guy that is not like the most unknown person in the world. It's our Tony Robbins. I love learning from this guy, and he is amazing with this. Okay, so I found a clip on his own YouTube where you will see a couple of engagement styles he does, but he does so many. For example, one that I really love that's not in this one, he for example can do there's three let me give you an example. There's 3 different steps to change your state right now. How many? Say it. And you saw me do it sometimes too. I modeled it for him. What else? There is focus, language, and physiology. Focus, language, and what? Or he does focus, language, and physiology. So he has a pause where you can fill in that word for yourself in your mind. Because of that pause, you are active again. Because again, the brain doesn't like incompletion. So it starts to finish it because it doesn't like an open loop. So now you are engaged again, while you're not even aware of it. So let's watch this short clip and let's see what he's doing.
Got it. How many of you in this room have ever achieved something that when you first came up with a dream or goal or desire, it seemed totally impossible, and yet somehow you made it happen? Raise your hand if you've done this. Say aye.
All right. So how many of you? So he's asking who of you. So now he's expecting an answer. Does it make sense? He's demanding an answer. He's asking a question, and he also specifically tells you how to answer. What some speakers do really well is they want to ask a question. How many of you has ever wanted to create a life of true fulfillment? And then people are like, do I need to say yes? Do I raise my hand? Do I need to do anything? And then the person in the audience is thinking about that, like, what should I do? What should I do? But then you are continuing. But that person is not finished with the confusion that you left them with a question that they don't know how to answer. So what he does really well is he's asking a question and he's directing, as a leader, what he wants from the audience. So raise your hand and say I. Now the beauty of this is that when people say it out loud, they're anchored in a different way. So they're using movement, so your blood is flowing, so all these beautiful things are dancing together just to make sure that you're engaged and that you actually retain the information.
Say aye. So I don't have to teach you the science of achievement. What I have to get you to do is identify what did you do when you achieved at the highest level something that seemed impossible. So I want you to think about that thing that once was a dream or a goal in your life. It could have been something as simple as a car or a relationship.
I want you to think about something in your life. He's directing again. I want you to think about something in your life. So now he's directing your focus. I want you to think about this specific thing. So he's again the leader on stage. He's showing you exactly what he wants. He shows you where he wants you to go. And when you have a keynote of 30 minutes and you're not using any of this, it could be that people end up in their own imagination and turn back to you after 30 minutes and be like, whoa, I had this amazing memory in my own mind, but I didn't really get the points that you wanted to get across. And by doing these small things, I want you to think, who else had? I want you to close your eyes. All like saying things, say it back to me. Having a small pause. They're all different ways to get people in the now. So they're back with you. They're doing what you want them to do because you've crafted this whole experience.
Or a position or a job or your own company or whatever it was. What was the first thing you did to take it from dream state where it seemed impossible to start to really make progress? How many of you started to obsess about it? That is, you started thinking about it constantly.
This is so interesting. We can go on for hours, but I want you to get yourself associated with these examples and pick the ones that make sense for you right now. Because what he's doing right now, he's asking an open question, right? What did you do to get from a dream state to an active state? So now your brain started to think about it, because again, we don't like an openness. We want to close the loop. We want to answer it. So our brain starts to think it's active again. It picks it up. We're here with you now. And then he says, wasn't it? And then he fills in the answer. So what he does, and this is so amazing, he asks you who else wants this? Or what were your strategies before to achieve this? Wasn't it buts? So now, instead of saying step one, you have to do in order for get you to do this, he's using an engagement style. He first asks you, what was it for you? Wasn't it buts? And then he brings step number one. And then afterwards, he's going to say, write it down. Write it down. So he's very assertive, very directive of what he wants you to do. So there's a lot of different ways how you can engage the audience, how you can get people in an active learning style where they are continuously with you, continuously doing what you say them to do, and you're watching people have done it for a bit, right? So again, this requires practice. What I would love for you to happen is that now every time you watch a YouTube video, you're on social media, you see a speaker live, you're at a conference, you're listening through a lens of, first, do I feel really engaged? Do I feel I'm part of this? Do I feel that I'm connected to this person? If so, what are they doing specifically that you can model that makes sense for you, that resonated with you, so you can shine from your authentic light with your personality and get people engaged, right? There's no right or wrong. The only wrong is don't say anything, right? But you're here learning about how you can become this amazing, compelling communicator that can create a transformational journey for other people. So again, this is a journey. Don't feel that you need to be perfect. Just pick one or two of the methodologies that you just saw and start to implement them in your talk. What we just saw is that we're already seeing that these engagement styles are combined, right? So it's compounding. Every single time you use a little bit of this and a little bit of the other engagement style, a little bit of the other engagement style, you're up-leveling your entire communication. And that's what makes you magical. So enjoy practicing, enjoy experimenting, enjoy transforming.